Good afternoon, and thanks for calling the complaints team at British Gas. British Gas Trading Limited is an appointed representative of British Gas Services Limited, which is authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority for its insurance activities. If you pay as you go by topping up your meter, press 1. Good afternoon, you're through to Alison, British Gas Complaints Department. How can I help you today?
Well, can I give you my complaint reference number?
Yeah, that would be great, thank you. What have you got?
800 691
691
5719.
Fine, and who's dealing with that complaint for you?
Sorry?
Who's dealing with the complaint for you?
Well, the letter I got was from Stephanie Cora.
That's fine. I can see if she's available. I'm just waiting on all your details coming up first, though, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Could you just confirm your name and address for me?
Yeah, it's Don Jackson, and that's 6 Centurion Close.
That's fantastic, thank you. I'm going to put you on hold and see if Stephanie's available, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Mr. Jackson?
Yeah.
Hello? Hi, I'm going to transfer you through to Stephanie now, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Mr. Jackson?
Hiya.
Hi, Mr. Jackson, it's Stephanie. Thanks for getting back to me.
Yeah. I just received your letter today. Can you tell me when you actually sent this out?
Let me just check. I'll just be a second. I'll tell you when I sent it. I sent that on the 1st of April.
The 1st of April? Well, I've just got this today, and the letter's dated 31st of March, and it says here, please get in touch by the 15th of April, or the details above so we can progress this for you.
Right.
So obviously that wasn't giving me a lot of time to get back to you.
I'm just going to check my notes to see when I sent it. I'll just be a moment. Now, I know that I've spoke to you a few times, but just for security, could you confirm the first line of your address for me?
Yeah, it's 6 Centurion Close.
Right, yeah, I think it was posted on the 1st of April. So I'm sorry if that's you just getting it.
A week to get to me. Well, see, this what seems to be a problem with letters getting sent to this address, and that's one of my things that I want to address in your letter. I can categorically tell you that I've had no letters from face to face, apart from that only one that I had when I phoned you up on the 18th of March, and I will be going to Highbury Magistrates and doing a statutory declaration stating that, and witness testimonies. Now, also, your version of events from what happened that day is totally inconsistent with my video evidence as well. I do not feel that you are taking this complaint serious enough, and I would like it escalated. At this point, I would like it to be escalated to a lot higher than what it is, because I do not feel that this has been taken serious enough.
Right, okay, so I understand, Mr. Jackson, this is not my version of it, this is, what face-to-face has said to me that's happened. So, I know that, it's your complaint is against the face-to-face.
Well, see, to tell you the truth, right, face-to-face sent me a letter as well. That came through today as well, with your letter, right? And their letter, it seemed to as if they were taking it more serious than yours. So,
right,
they seem to be taking the complaint a lot more serious than British Gas.
What is it that you would like me to do for you, Mr. Jackson?
I would like my complaint to be escalated. I don't think it's been taken serious enough. I mean, there's a lot of serious allegations here that I made, and I've obviously got evidence to back it up on what I'm saying, and I don't feel that you are taking it serious enough with the letter that's been sent to me.
So when I've spoken to face, they have said that
that they've done everything according to protocol, according to plan.
They're going to tell you that, aren't they?
Now,
As I
the
say to
only
you,
thing...
I've got video evidence that contradicts everything that went on that day.
So what does your video evidence show?
Well, I will be making the video evidence available to you.
Right, okay. Now,
And you can conclude that for yourself. I'll also be making it available to the courts.
So, well, what will happen? Right, okay, no worries. So, I'm going to just look over it again, alright, and see what's happening. I just want to make you aware as well that in about a week's time, your complaint will have been open with us for 56 days. So that just means that you've got the right to take it to the Ombudsman if you wish to do so. So that would normally be...
At this stage, the purpose of this phone call is to let you know that I'm not happy with your response, and I do want to take it further, because your letter suggests you get in touch by the 15th of April on the details above so we can progress with you. If however you don't need our help and you're happy that this is now resolved and you do not need anything, I'll make arrangements to close your complaint on the 15th of April, which is in a few days' time. So, as I said, I've only just got the letter, so again, that didn't give me much time to let you know that I was wanting to progress with the complaint. So I'm just I'm just letting you know just now that I won't be closing this complaint. I'm phoning up before the 15th just to make that clear.
Right, okay, that's fine. That's our process, is that you get 15 days to come back to us.
Yeah, but I didn't get 15 days, because I only got the letter today, didn't I? You know?
Okay, so we sent it out on the 1st of April, so if Royal Mail there was a delay in that, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. See, these things happen with letters, and the fact that Face to Face said they'd sent me letters and I'm saying they're no, these things happen. It's just one of the things that happens, which is out of my control. As this letter that you sent me, that you saying you sent it a week ago, it was out of my control, but yeah, I've just got it today, so I hope you understand what I'm saying here.
No, I do understand, but you've still got a week to come back to us, to say that you're not happy with what's been done, which you have done, so, I understand, the complaint didn't get to you, the letter didn't get to you in the time you would have liked, but it's not something that you did get it in time, and you've had a chance to come back to, so what is it what would you like me to do, Mr. Jackson?
Well, I'm just notifying you just now that because you're saying that I want to close the case by the 15th. I'm just saying the purpose of this call is to let you know I will not be closing the case by the 15th. I want it escalated.
Okay, so as I say, what will happen is I won't close it on the 15th like you said, but in about a week's time you'll get a letter telling you that you've got the right to go to the Ombudsman.
Yeah, but I mean, what have you actually done as in addressing my complaint? I mean, you've just sent me their version of events. I mean, have you actually done anything?
So, well, I have contacted Face to Face, and they concluded they had an interview with their their warrant officer. They've done their own investigations, and they reported back to me, which I have then.
So have you got a report of this investigation?
So I have they've conducted their own report, and they have then told me what's happened. Have they forwarded you the report? They forwarded me a version of events of what's happened.
Well, can I have a copy of their report?
So it's basically what I've sent to you, and in the email.
Yeah, but that's just their version of events. It doesn't. It's not really addressing the matter, is it? You've only sent me a version of their events. It's not really addressing my complaint.
So, like for example, they have said that you said to me that they kicked your door down and almost hit you in the head.
I never said they kicked my door down. I said they forced it in. I never once.
And you said it almost hit you in the head.
Yes, it did. Now, as I said to you as well, my neighbour had to come down and tell them to stop shouting. They were shouting that loud. My neighbour upstairs, and she's willing to do a statutory declaration stating that as well. So as I
Okay,
said,
so-
all you have done is just gave me their version of events. You haven't addressed any of my concerns or done anything regarding my
So-
complaint.
Okay, so
So I would like
what is it that
I'd like a further investigation into it, not just their version of events, because that just doesn't wash. You know, because that's nothing. That I mean, what is that?
Yeah, I understand. What I'll do, bear with me a second, Mr. Jackson, okay?
I mean, I would like you to look into that phone call that I had on the 18th of March. Look at it clearly and see what was stated in that phone call.
Okay, so what I've explained, so I've not listened to the phone call, but it wouldn't resolve the issue by listening to the phone call, because you received letters advising that you were going, the process was going to warrant.
Right, now hold on a minute. Now, I'll go back to that letter, right? See, this is where the problem lies, right? The letter clearly states, right, you should be aware that we're granted that we have the right to enter your property necessary force. If we do this, we may make sure your property is secure when we leave. They didn't do that either, right? Now, it tells me, right, please call as soon as possible before the date of application on the 1st of March, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is in black and white, right? I called on the 18th to make an appointment. The 18th, right? Well before they were going to apply to the magistrates for a warrant of execution, right? Now, I was led to believe by one of your team members that this was now not an option. This was not going to happen, right? So what you have done, right, now, you've took me out of the process to go to court on that day, right? With my evidence to say why they should not need a warrant of execution. I've been took out of that process.
So, no, that's not what happened, because...
Yes, it is.
That's not what happened, and I've got the letter here. It says that they'll be going to court on that day. If you had answered the door when they came, then of course they wouldn't have used a locksmith. But
No,
because you didn't
hold on a
answer the
minute.
door-
I explained to you, I've got a brain tumour and I suffer from sleep apnea. I was in a deep sleep. There's nothing to do with answering the door, right? The point is, what I'll make again, which you seem to miss the point the last time, right? Where I was under the impression of an appointment, the engineer had my number to call me, right? So if I went to the shop, right, for a pint of milk, right, they would have still forced entry into my property, right? So this is misleading me. I've been totally misled here. You've got to see what I'm actually saying here. So it's nothing to do with about answering the door whether I was sleeping or no. The point was I was misled here to believe that I had an appointment and an appointment only. Nothing about, right. Also, if I'm getting a warrant of execution, I have to have legal notice. I was not given legal notice. And let me also tell you, the letter that I received on the 12th of the 2nd, 2016, right, from Face to Face, was not hand delivered. It was posted, right? This was posted. And I will tell you now, this is not a legal notice. It just tells me of their intention, right? Once they get a legal notice, a warrant of execution, I must have legal notice, which I was not given at any time. So, and the
letter, well, tell me if this is the same letter that I can see. It says, urgent, we are getting a warrant to inspect your meter. Then it says, we are now serving notice in writing of our intention to make an application for a warrant of entry. And then it says where, and it says you may attend this application.
Right, well you didn't give me a chance to attend the application, did you? Because you took me out of that process by saying to me that this was now not an issue. And I now had an appointment. So this is misleading.
So
now, as I say, right, now also as well, I'll bring this back to you as well, right. Now, a legal notice, do you understand a legal notice has to have a signature on it to be a legal notice?
Well, no, right. I'm not a lawyer, so I wouldn't, you know, I don't...
I've spoke to my barrister, right, and this letter, that you have a copy because you sent me it, which is what I had. right? It's not got a signature on it, right? Now, secondly, right, I queried this letter because I've never heard of face-to-face in my life, right? Which I did explain to your teammate. And it said here on the letter, dear customer, right? Now, I know I'm not a customer of face-to-face, right? So therefore, how can I take a letter seriously that's saying to me, dear customer of face-to-face, when I'm not a customer of face-to-face? I've never heard of them, and there's no signature on the letter. So this letter is flawed on so many levels.
Right. Well, as I say, I'm not, I don't know the legal, what you're saying, I'm not a lawyer, I don't know whether, what's right and what's not.
Also as well, you were aware that I'm disabled, right? As you had it down on your records, right? I do believe that you can't use a warrant of execution against a disabled person. Also, what was your plan of risk assessment?
So the plan was, because the reason that we were coming is that we, at this point in time, we're obliged to inspect your meter every 2 years, right, because you've got a disability. Yeah, so no, but that's not the point. What
I'm saying is, what was your risk assessment plan? Because you do know you do have to have a risk assessment plan before you use a warrant of execution against a disabled person.
Right, so I don't know the risk assessment plan, but face-to-face would have they got a warrant which was agreed by a judge, so they had all the correct actions in place.
Yeah, so what information did they give to receive a warrant?
So all the times that they visited your property,
that's just hearsay. You're saying they visited my property. I'm saying that they never, while I was here, right? Now, I did explain to you and your colleagues, right? I spend most of my time in hospital, right? I've got thousands of hospital letters in my drawers here, right? I spend a lot of time in hospital, so, right, if somebody decides to come out of my property, right, without my notification, right, now, is that my fault if I'm not in?
No, but what they've said to me is that they sent you letters to advise you that they were coming, so
just because they told you, right, just because they said they visited and they said they sent letters, so I'm telling you categorically, I never had any visits while I was in. I had no calling cards and I had no letters from face-to-face whatsoever. And as I said, I will do a statutory declaration, right, which is the highest form of truth in a court, right, to state that fact. And I'm constantly with a carer, right, who deals with all my letters and everything else as well, right. They're with me all the time, and they will do a statutory declaration stating the same facts. So, as I said, it's just hearsay.
Mr. Jackson, I also spoke to G4S, who before it went to face-to-face, advised me that they visited your property on around 10 occasions and left cards through the door.
Well, I've had no cards from G4S either.
Okay.
I've had no cards from G4S either. So can you tell me if all the details on your warrant are actually accurate?
So I can tell you what the companies that we use, G4S and face-to-face, they've got strict guidelines that they need to follow, and this is what they've told me, both separate companies.
So
what would you like me to do for you, Mr. Jackson?
Well, I would like my concerns addressed, because so far nothing's been addressed.
So,
I feel as if I'm just being fobbed off here.
So when I've contacted face-to-face, everything they've told me that happened, they've not done anything.
So that's it.
So what they've said, the only thing that they maybe could have done better would have been called you before they arrived.
There's a lot of things, because as I said anyway, right, they had no reason to go for a warrant if I made an appointment. They had no reason to go for a warrant. Now, if they had told the magistrate, yeah, the gentleman phoned up and he's made an appointment, the magistrate would not have gave them a warrant of execution. So therefore he's lied to a magistrate. So what he's done...
It goes past a certain time, whether you've made an appointment or not, it goes to warrant.
No, it's contempt of court. It's called contempt of court. He's lied to a magistrate.
No, he wouldn't have lied, Mr. Jackson. Well, he didn't lie in the court.
Yeah, well, he did. Did they tell the magistrate that I had made an appointment then?
Well, I don't know what
And
happened.
did he tell the
Mr. Jackson.
magistrate? Did he tell the magistrate I was a disabled person as well?
So, Mr. Jackson, what they've told me is the reason that the warrant date was the same date that you made the appointment, that wasn't coincidence.
Yeah, that's
So
convenient,
they've
isn't
asked-
it? That's very convenient.
No, it's not convenient
Yeah.
because they've asked for the warrant on the date that you had made the appointment.
Yeah, well,
It's not, you know,
I'm sure if a magistrate or a court looks at that, they'll say the same as me. Very convenient that they asked for a warrant on the same day that I made an appointment. I mean, I made the appointment. I phoned up and made that appointment. I done
you
that
already
on
had the notice that it was going to warrant.
what?
So they arranged the
Right.
warrant.
So why did your
They-
colleague tell me I had nothing to worry about? Then that was finished.
Now, if you had answered the door, then there wouldn't have been anything to worry about. And I understand.
Listen, I would
that you
like to,
were asleep.
excuse me, I would like to answer the door a lot more than what I do, right? But sometimes I'm in a deep sleep because I do have a dangerous brain tumour. So you keep saying, oh, if you would answer the door, that was not an option. It's not an option when you have a brain tumour and you're in a deep sleep. So you keep trying to turn it round and blame it on me. You can't blame me for the faults of your third party company.
But how has this had, you know, an impact on you, Mr. Jackson? They were coming out to inspect your meter to make sure it was safe.
Right,
Not for
right,
any negative
right.
purposes.
Right, so you said they were coming out to inspect my meter to make sure it was safe. Right, now you work for British Gas. What qualifications do you need to have to make sure a meter is safe?
So I don't know. I don't have the answer to that.
Well, you should know you work for British Gas.
Okay, but I don't know what
Right, shall I
qualifications
tell
each
you?
individual has.
Shall I tell you? Shall I tell you? Right. In order for you to touch my meter to make sure it's safe, right, you need to be gas safe registered, right? This is law, right?
So they weren't going to do anything.
No,
they weren't going
right,
to make any
right.
changes. They're just
Right,
coming out to
so,
inspect
no,
it.
let-
They
let-
can be a reason.
Let's just stick to what you said. They were coming out to make sure my meter was safe, right? But the law states that they have to be gas safe registered. Now, I do believe that Mr. Mike Smalls is not gas safe registered. Yeah? And I do believe his locksmith was not gas safe registered.
Right, so if that was a requirement, then we wouldn't have sent them there. So obviously that's not a requirement
Well,
for that
this
job.
is
He's
what
just
I was-
coming out to
no, but
take
this- listen-
a meter reading and
No,
to check
oh,
that the
right,
meter
so
is safe.
it's turning into a meter reading now. So, right.
It's for both. It's to
Right.
inspect it to ensure
So-
that it's safe.
Right, so hold on a minute, you're contradicting yourself, right? It's either one or the other. It's to make sure my meter's safe or it was a meter reading. Now, do you think a magistrate would give a warrant of execution just to read a meter? When I could have gave you a meter reading at any time that you wanted, right?
But we've came out to your property more than 10 occasions.
No, you
and we've
haven't.
not been able to get
No,
that
you
reading.
haven't. I'm saying you haven't. No, and if you have come out, right, it's been when I've been in hospital, which is no anything that I can do about it. The fact
No,
is
I know,
that I
and
do
I
go to
understand
hospital,
that.
right? But the fact is, you said to me it was to make sure my meter is safe. Now I do understand, right? When you apply for the warrant, they would have said that it was to make sure the meter was safe. Therefore, they would have to send out a gas safe accredited engineer, and none was sent out. That is fact. Now, when I spoke to your man on the 18th, he said the exact same thing. It was for a gas safety test. Now, I did tell him, I said, well, I'm a bit confused because I do have a gas safety test certificate for this address, which had recently just been passed as safe with my landlord, who does a extensive gas safety test and detests the
Okay,
meter.
yeah, that's to
So-
inspect your appliances, like your boiler.
No, I
things
don't have
like
any
that.
appliances. The only thing I have is a boiler. But they do
Well, your
test the
boiler,
meter.
that's an appliance,
Yeah, but they do test my meter as well. That is part of the test. And I can send you my certificate to show you that it is safe, right? So, when I said that to your colleague on the 18th, he said to me, no, our engineer will do a lot more intensive test than your normal gas one, right? So for you to send some dirt that's not even gas accredited
Right. So
to
they
inspect
wouldn't
my
have
meter.
done anything that they weren't able to do. It's called a must inspect appointment. We are obliged by Ofgem regulators under a licensing agreement to send it to your home every 2 years because you do have a disability and you're registered on a priority service register. That was at the time, the appointment, that was what we have to
So
follow.
was the warrant for a gas inspection or a meter reading? This is what I need to know.
It's called a must inspect metering appointment.
But you
Must
said
inspect,
to me on the phone
meter.
it was to inspect the safety of my meter.
So it's to inspect the meter, that's what it's for.
Right, but
Now,
you said no. You said it was to inspect the safety of my meter, and
For safety reasons.
your colleague
safety
stated this intensively in a long conversation that it was to do a gas safety test on my meter. This is what your colleague said.
Right, well, if there's been a bit of confusion on what
no,
it's
there
for,
was no
I'm sorry about
confusion.
that, but
There was no confusion because I went over it again with him, right, and I reiterated what I was saying, and yeah.
Right, so how is this relevant, Mr. Jackson?
Because it is relevant. Because what I'm saying is, you're saying to me it was for a gas safety test, right? When...
No, I didn't say that. I
You
said
did?
it was to inspect your meter for safety reasons.
Right, so if anybody, and as I say to you again, if anybody's to inspect my meter for safety reasons, they must be gas safe accredited. That is the law. You should know that by working from British Gas. I cannot let anybody... So you're saying that I can let anybody inspect my meter?
No, but
So
face to face...
putting my life in danger?
No,
when they're not
they
gas...
wouldn't have made any alterations.
Well, I don't know that.
No.
I don't know that because you led me to believe that it was a gas safety inspection. This is what I was told on the phone, and you just said that a little while ago it was a gas safety inspection.
Right, okay. Mr. Jackson, what is it that what are you looking for? What outcome are you looking for here? What do you want? What is it that you...
Well, I want my whole complaint addressed. So far it's not been addressed. All you have done is just sent me their version of events. That's not addressing the problem.
Right, bear with me. I'm just... If you let me pop you on hold a second, okay? I'm just going to find out what we need to do, alright?
Okay.
Hi, Mr. Jackson.
Hi.
Hi, thanks very much for waiting.
It's okay.
So, just, having a think about it and having a look at what we can do. So, I know that there's, you're not happy about various things. What I can do is apologise if it wasn't made absolutely clear to you that this was still going to warrant. That's what I can apologise for.
But it shouldn't, because...
With regards to the legalities of everything else that's been on, that I can't answer those questions.
Right, so can you just tell me then, right, is it British Gas's policy, right, when a customer asks to see identification that it's not shown, or asks to see a warrant it's not shown also?
So, well, that's what you've said, and face-to-face have said that...
Right, well, as I say to you, I do have video evidence which will show that everything I'm saying is 100%.
So what you're complaining here now is about the legality of what happened.
The whole procedure was just wrong from start to finish.
So that I can't deal with the legalities now. Well, if we can't come, if you're not happy, which I know you're not, and you're not happy, what we would need to do is we would go to deadlock. That means we can't come to a resolution, and which means that you can then take your case to the Ombudsman, and they would investigate it for you. Okay, or if you say you're going to go to lawyers, you're going to go to the courts, then they will know how to contact our legal team.
Yeah, but I'm just asking you, what is the process when identification is asked for? Can you tell me what the process is?
Well, then as I say, I don't know the legalities, but they said to me that the warrant officer had identification and was carrying identification.
No, you can clearly see every time. No, it wasn't clear because I'm partially sighted, as you. I'm blind in one eye, as you have done on your records as well, right? So it's hard for me to see. And every time I was trying to look, he kept putting his board across it, which you can see on the video as well. So as I said to you again, everything that I've said is documented and videoed, right? So I've no need to lie. I've got video evidence to back everything up I say. I'm just asking you, what is British Gas's position, right? If an engineer or somebody on behalf of you comes to a customer's door, if they ask for identification, should it be shown or should it be refused? Hello?
Hi, sorry. Well, I just need, because I know that you're wanting the legality. Not what I say to you is anyone that goes to your property will be carrying identification.
Yeah, but if they're asked to show the identification, should they show it? Is that British Gas's policy?
One moment. Hi, thanks, Mr. Jackson. Yeah, so anybody that we send to your property will carry identification. I can't comment on what happened on that day because I haven't seen the
asking you to comment.
you've got.
Sorry, I'm not asking you to comment. I'm asking you what your procedure is.
Yeah, so our procedure is that, you know, they do carry identification, and face-to-face have also told me
that's not what I'm asking you.
And they had identification.
Yeah, that's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you what is your policy if a customer asks for identification for somebody.
So if it was asked for in a reasonable, non-threatening manner, then yeah, they would show the identification. But I don't know what happened on the day, so I can't comment if what the engineer did there and then was right or wrong.
Right, so even when we get down to the warrant, if asked to show the warrant and I'm not showing that, is that your protocol as well? Or should that warrant have been showed to me?
So I don't know the answers to this, Mr. Jackson.
Well,
what happened
should I not be speaking to somebody that can give me answers?
So he would have had to show you the warrant, but as I say, if he felt threatened or
come on.
I don't know what's happened.
Threatened by somebody that's on their last legs, nearly dying. Come on.
So they've assured me that they had the warrant and they had ID with them.
Yeah.
And I can assure you, that's what they've told me.
I can assure you, I never seen a warrant at any time, and I never seen any identification. Now, you also said that he walked away on his own volition because he seen I was getting upset. He had to be asked on numerous occasions to leave as I was getting alarmed and distressed. And then I phoned my carer, and my carer had to tell him on the phone, you must leave immediately, you're making him really ill and alarmed and distressed. So he never left on his own accord. So that is a lie as well.
Mr. Jackson, you previously told me that your neighbour had to come down.
Yeah, she did come down. She came down as well.
Okay, so Mr. Jackson, as I said, with that, then I wasn't there. I'm not a police officer. I'm not a lawyer. Okay.
I never stated you were. I'm just asking you what your procedure is. You know, for working for a company like British Gas.
What I have done is contacted face to face. They have had an interview with their warrant officer, and they've told me their findings. Okay, so.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
we believe that they acted in a lawful way.
Right. Well, I'm telling you, it's unlawful. I'm telling you my version of events, which was unlawful. See, the thing is, all you've done is sent me their version of events. You've not done anything for me. You've not done any. I am your customer, and I'm getting treated like a criminal here.
I'm not saying you're a criminal, Mr. Jackson.
No, I never said you said that. I said I feel as if I'm getting treated like a criminal. Right, because what you're doing is it seems as if you're just taking their version of events. Because that's all you've done, you've just sent me their version of events. And I don't feel as if that's a proper investigation. This needs to be a proper investigation, and action needs to be taken where necessary.
Okay. So what we'll have to do then, Mr. Jackson, is we'll deadlock the complaint, and that means you can take it immediately to the Ombudsman.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll send you details of the Ombudsman. And they're a third party.
I've already got their details. Their details.
So they are third party neutral, and they'll then do the investigation on your behalf.
Yep. So at this stage, British Gas is not prepared to do a proper investigation.
So there's nothing else that I can do, other than what I've already done, Mr. Jackson. as I say, I can apologise to you for any failures in customer service. So, i.e., when you spoke to the agent, it wasn't made clear to you that this would still be going to warrant. I can apologise for that. With regards to what went on the day, you know, as I say, it's not something I can investigate, or that would, you know, that's not something that I can do. I'm not a police officer, I'm not a lawyer. So what we have to do is deadlock the complaint, and the Ombudsman will investigate it on your behalf.
Well, see, the thing is, I just feel as if you're not in a position to deal with it. I mean, what about Mr. Matt Idle? Is he in a position to deal with the complaint a lot better?
No.
Or should I put in something in writing to Matt Idle then, the managing director?
No, because we work on Matt Idle's behalf.
Yeah, alright, so
what you're questioning is the legalities of what happened.
Right, so you just said you're doing this on behalf of Matt Idle, so he's the person I really need to contact then?
No, so Matt Idle won't have direct contact with the customers.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I can't have direct contact with him, because he's clearly there, and you said you're doing it on behalf of Matt Idle, so I need to take my complaint to Matt Idle then.
Okay, so he wouldn't personally answer it. It would be passed on to his team, so he would pass it on to me to deal with it.
Well, it all depends what he gets sent in writing. He might have to personally answer it. You know? I just feel as if this is not getting taken seriously, and I'm just getting fobbed off.
And I do understand, Mr. Jackson. I appreciate, you know, everything you've said.
And see, at the end of the day, you can't treat disabled people like this. Right? You know, I've got enough to worry about with thinking about the possibility of dying at almost any time. You know?
And I'm sorry for that, and I understand that.
And then the fact is that I just feel as if British Gas just don't want to do anything about it. You know what I mean? I'm not getting treated as a customer here. Because that's not customer service, not one bit.
Mr. Jackson, as I said, I can apologise if it wasn't made clear that it's still going to warrant. We were not coming to your home for anything other to inspect the meter. That's the only reason that we were coming to your home.
To inspect my meter?
Okay, so, and that's because we're obliged to do that. We're obliged to inspect your meter.
Again, you just said inspect my meter, right? So you have to be gas qualified to inspect my meter for safety.
So, well, that, you know, that, how do you know that?
Because I know that is the law. That is the law.
To do the job.
That is the law. I mean, you should know that working for British Gas. I mean, what I'm starting to believe is it was only just a meter reading. This is what I'm actually starting to believe.
No, it states in the warrant, it was a warrant to inspect your meter. So that's what went to court, that's the official warrant letter that was sent to you.
I was told for safety reasons, and you said safety reasons as well. You clearly said that, and so did your colleague.
Yeah, so we need to make sure that there's nothing untoward with the meter. We need to take a reading, that's to make sure it's safe, that's all.
So what I'm trying to say, if Mr. Mike Smalls is not gas safety accredited, how can he tell me if my meter is safe then? This is what I don't understand. Well, I do understand, but it just don't make any sense.
Mr. Jackson, we're not going to come to an agreement here. What I can apologise for wasn't made clear. If it wasn't made clear to you, or you didn't understand that it was still going to warrant, okay, that's what I can apologise for. With regards to how the warrant process was carried out, you know, face to face, their findings have told me they've acted lawfully, they've followed the processes, so we can't agree on whether that's right or wrong.
Not showing identification when required is not lawfully, and not showing a warrant when you actually enforce it is not lawfully either. It's actually unlawful. And I think this needs to get escalated up to Matt Idle.
So, well, as I say, what will happen is we will deadlock the complaint, and then the Ombudsman, third party, neutral, will investigate it on your behalf. That's what will happen if we can't reach an agreement here.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I still can't write to Matt Idle.
You can, but if we deadlock you, that means that we're not willing to investigate it any further, or we can't investigate it any further.
I don't think it's been investigated anyway, because all you've done is gave me face-to-face's version of events. That's not investigating it. Can you tell me what investigation you've done?
So I've contacted face-to-face, who've done
Right.
their own internal investigation, and
So-
they've come back to me with the findings.
So have you investigated the process of warrant, and is the warrant all above board? Yeah?
So they've assured me that everything was carried out to, to the criteria.
Right, so can you tell me their warrant process is all above board and everything they've done? So you've done a full investigation to make
So
sure
they've
that...
said, yeah.
No,
what they've
I'm
said
not
to
asking
me
what they
is-
said. I'm not asking what they said. I'm asking you, can you tell me if
Well,
the...
Mr. Jackson, I wasn't there, so I can't comment on what exactly happened.
No, I'm not
They've
saying...
done their
no,
own investigation.
I never asked if you were here. I'm asking you, have you done your investigation to make sure the warrant that you sent me was all above board?
Yes, we're satisfied that
You're
that warrant...
satisfied. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Okay, thanks.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, so
Okay.
I'll send you a letter with details on how to contact the Ombudsman.
Okay.
Okay?
That's fine. As long as you're satisfied that the warrant process and the warrant that you sent me was above board, that's okay.
Okay, and everything is there in the letter, so,
Yeah.
but as
Yeah,
far as...
we're not going anywhere with this anyway. We're just going round in circles here, so...
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Jackson. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't have an answer for you.
Look, I know it's not your fault, right? And I'm not trying to take it out on you. I'm just trying to get answers, right? I know you're just doing your job, but you've got to understand how frustrating this is for a disabled person that's quite ill. You know, on a
Yeah, no, and
every day as it comes on a day-to-day basis. I mean, I'm just happy to wake up in the morning. So you've got to understand that having to go through all that was quite traumatic for me.
Yeah, I do understand it, but we weren't coming in to do anything on the wards. It was to literally to inspect her meter.
This is all I'll say, right? And I know it's water off a duck's back, right? But see, when you hire these third-party companies, you have to make sure that they're doing the job right and lawfully. You know what I mean? I mean, because British Gas has got a big reputation to keep. You can't treat disabled people like this. You can't treat anybody like this, never mind a severely disabled person, you know? So
No,
as I said, look,
I'm sorry that you feel like that, but...
I'm not taking anything personally on you, right? As I said, it's just, I need answers to why this happened.
Yeah, I understand. That's fine. That's fair enough. And as I say, the Ombudsman would then be the best person to investigate it for you.
Yeah.
They're a neutral third party, and they will, they will come back. They'll investigate on your behalf.
Okay then, and what was your name again?
It's Stephanie.
Okay, Stephanie, look, as I said, thanks for your time anyway.
No worries. Okay. Good luck then,
thank
Mr.
you.
Jackson.
Thank you, bye.
Thank you.